Okay, so let's start. Let me share my screen. So let me know once you can see the screen. Screen दिसते का माझी मिलिंद?
दिसते.
Okay, so let's start with our third session. Now it's already 11:05, so let's try to cover it. So today we will start with a story for man Ramana, who is a wealthy villager. He's having a lot of money. So once Ramana goes to a city and he keeps on going a city, he sees a lot of cars and other things. So he visits a city, likes a car, and then he goes to the dealer and then he says that he's interested in buying this car. But he also learns that there is no service center or dealer in his village, so he needed to buy that in the city only. But for servicing and other things, he has to get the car into the city. So Ramana finally decides to, decides to buy this car, and then he drives home. So the car is nice. So back in village, he's a hero. People, they will flock to see his car, and many heads would turn. And the life was very wonderful. So the life went on suddenly, and one day an indicator lights up in the dashboard. So he remembers that his salesman had told that if any indicator comes, go to the service manual, know about the indicator immediately. So he does that. So he checks in the service manual. He finds out that car should be immediately taken to the service center and he should avoid driving the car. So he gets worried, doesn't know what to do. So, but he also thinks that there could be something, some maybe loose wire or something else. So he parks the car, waits for a couple of days, and then now once again starts the car and goes for a drive. And now there was no indication. So he was happy. Maybe something was loose. He thinks that no, the car manufacturer should improve their quality. So it was the false alarm. So he keeps on driving. After some time, the indicator comes up again. And then, of course, he has learned. So he comes back to his home hastily. So now he decides to wait for 4 days. But however, his friends, they are very quick to realize that nowadays they don't see Ramana driving the car in the village. So they want to try and find out. So then one of his friends, they meet him. One of his friends suggests that take the car to the local village mechanic. He says that authorized service center will cost him a lot, and all the mechanics, they are same. So he likes this idea, takes the car to the mechanic, explains him the issue. The mechanic opens the bonnet, tries his best to solve the problem, but he could not. So then what he does is, indicator has to go away. So he takes a small piece of tape and masks that indicator. And he tells Ramana, okay, the problem is resolved. Okay, Ramana is very happy because now he doesn't see the indicator. So he pays him 50 rupees. The work was very cheaply done. So Ramana also pats his back, saying that yes, he saved a huge amount of money and the effort to go to the city by not visiting the authorized service center. So then what happens is the life goes on. He starts his regular driving. There is no indication. This goes, and after some time, he gets 2 more indicators, 2 or 3 more indicators, and then he then visits the mechanic. The mechanic this time knows the solution, so he masks the indicators again. So Ramana pays him rupees 100 because more indicators, but he also watches closely what the mechanic has done. And now he knows how to solve the problem himself. He continues to drive, more indicators come on, he puts more masking tape, life goes on. One fine day, as he was driving, the car suddenly stopped. It could not start by pushing. So he calls the mechanic, hoping for a solution, but the mechanic tells him no, he doesn't have a solution. He needs to visit the authorized service center. So then Ramana, no choice. So he organizes a pickup crane, takes the car to the service center. Now the service center people, they are startled because they have never seen any customer who would mask the indicators, right? So the engine had failed and it needed a replacement at a very steep price. Ramana argued a lot, but they didn't listen to him. So had some Ramana, he had taken the car. Had he taken the car to service center at the first instance, this work would have been done on warranty, and so that's what it is. So that's the story. So what's the learning here? Any idea? Any responses? Anybody in the team?
Hello.
Yes.
Anand, whenever we see the smallest problem, we have to check with the correct person.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That is one learning. Okay. Then anybody else? Okay. So can we also draw a line with our own health? Do we do the same thing with our own health? Let's say if there is a small problem, do we take painkillers? If I get a cold, do I take Coldaren tablets or cold tablets? Do we do the similar thing? What do we feel? Okay, so
Yes.
we do these things, similar things we do, as we go along. So let's go to the next slide. So diseases, we are aware of the diseases. They are our diseases. They are indicators of a bad lifestyle, just like the car indicator. So let's say when the car is having any issue, the warning indicators will light up. These indicators are themselves not a problem, but they indicate that there is a problem somewhere and it needs attention. And sometimes you may need immediate attention. So to correct the indicator, we need to not work on the indicator alone, but actually the root cause of the problem. Because just the way Ramana did, he got the indicators masked, which we would never do actually with a car. And once the root cause is resolved, the warning indicators will go away on their own. So that's the analogy what we are using. So this is the analogy what we need to be using while addressing the diseases, and we need to work on the root cause and not the disease itself. Very important. So now let's understand these 5 elements, 5 pillars of our life, which we know that we are made up of these 5 elements. Okay, some of these elements we may be familiar. Like we are definitely familiar with the water, isn't it? We drink water, we use it for cleaning, bathing, and water we are already aware. And we also know that 70% of our body weight, it consists of water. Then the air. We know that without air, we cannot even survive. Without oxygen, we cannot survive even for 5 minutes. The air is very important for us. Then let's understand what is Earth. Earth signifies all the heavy elements, like, anything, any matter in our body. We actually exist, let's say our bones or our flesh, whatever it is, all our body parts, they are made up of earth and water. Then the fire. Fire is very important. That's we have already a digestive fire in our body. But here, we have to understand that the main fire comes from the sun. If sun tomorrow doesn't rise, we will all die very soon, because all the energy in the universe comes from the sun. So in fact, the plants, they trap this energy. They make their own food, and we eat plants, um, seeds, or whatever, fruits, or whatever we say. So the fire is a very important element, and some of this, whenever we eat, that the fire also comes within us. Then let us understand the sky. Sky are the empty spaces. We have a lot of empty space in our body, and this empty space will create a pull on any flow or whatever it is. Okay, let's say our blood flows in our body because of this sky element, or the whatever we eat, that also goes into our body, because there is a air, there is a gap in our esophagus. If our whole esophagus and the stomach was full, we will not be able to eat anything, or we don't feel like eating. So that is the sky element. So we are all made up of all these elements. So whenever there is imbalance, okay, then we start feeling bad, bad and disease, or whatever you may say. And our body will always try to balance. If there is an imbalance, body will always try to balance these elements. So any imbalance, will send warning signal, just like we saw in the car. There is a warning signal. So these warning signals are called level 1 pre-diseases. We will shortly understand what is this level 1 pre-disease. The body then tries to rebalance this and try to cure these diseases at this stage itself. But it needs some energy. This energy is called prana shakti. So we will understand this further. However, we need to conserve this prana shakti through lifestyle corrections, and have the body to direct this prana shakti to cure these diseases. Whatever our most modern medications we take, they will suppress the level 1 diseases, and soon these level 1 diseases will turn into level 2, and subsequently to level 3, which ultimately puts us into a lot of despair. Continual imbalances in one or life systems will result in painful life. We have seen the old people, or even the young people nowadays, they are leading a very painful life with diseases, and you will also land up into untimely death. So this is the base of our discussion. We will now understand what are the level 1 pre-diseases, or we say that it is a warning sign. I have put few level 1 pre-diseases. That list is very exhaustive, but we can touch a few. Let us say, if you are experiencing a low energy, if you are having some skin issues, or if you are having gastric digestion related issues, if you get headache, if you have acidity, if you have constipation, some kind of allergies, obesity, which most of us actually have this. If you have some itching, infection, sometimes you can get mucus in the eyes when you get up in the morning. You may get ENT problem. You may have frequent urination. You may also have dark circles. In fact, these are the warning sign. And when we actually encompass this, let's say when we have low energy, what do we do? What do we do when we have low energy? Any idea? Anybody? Do we take tea? Do we take tea, coffee? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Or let us say when we are having acidity, what do we do? I mean, we may take some Eno or some other, whatever it is, some medicines you may take. Okay, or if you have a constipation, you may take, you may take castor oil, or try to do something with that, with the constipation. Or if you are having allergy, we may take some tablets like Avil or something. If you don't get sleep, we may take sleeping tablets. Okay, if you have dark circles, then we may apply some cosmetics, or try to, we most of the times we'll try to suppress this, rather than understanding that this. Out of these level 1 diseases, two important diseases actually, which the first one is a constipation, which is actually a bridge. Once you have, we will understand this. Constipation is root cause of all the diseases, and of course the obesity, which we know that obesity, gives rise to so many other diseases. So if you don't take care of these level 1 pre-diseases, you will the body will start wearing out, and then we get into this level 2 diseases, which we know many of these names, like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, kidney diseases, arthritis, fibrosis, psoriasis, skin diseases, or sometimes you may get liver disease, lung disease, or like with ladies, you can get some gynec issues, fibrosis, whatever it is. Okay. So these are the level 2 diseases. And of course, then we go to the doctor. The doctors will give us medication. Most of this medication will have tendency to suppress this. They will give you a temporary relief. You would have experienced already people who have already got some kind of issues like this. Or if there is too much of pain, we may take painkillers. What happens is these level 2 diseases, they get suppressed. Let's say diabetes is one of the diseases. We take tablets, diabetes tablets, or hypertension. We may take blood pressure tablets, but due to this will get suppressed. And then we have these level 3 diseases. Suddenly, somebody discovers that they are into some final stage, or let's say second, third stage cancer. When they do, somebody may get sudden heart attack. Somebody can get kidney failure or some kidney disease. Somebody can get brain stroke. Somebody can paralyzed. Somebody can become blind. There can be many other terminal diseases which will lead to death, or a very impaired lifestyle, or whatever you may say. So that is a progression. This is exactly what we said about the story. When we get the first indicators, we should actually look at the root cause. So if you merely work on symptoms, okay, then the problem continues to be there, and you are not addressing actually the root cause. So merely working on the symptoms will not cure the disease. We need to understand what is the root cause of the disease and then work on that. If you look at the modern medicines, most of them, they will offer the symptomatic treatment. And we continue, let's say diabetes, they say you need to take the tablets throughout your life. Same thing is hypertension, and you name any other disease, they will always tell you that you have to be in tablets. The tablets don't go away. So that's the reason, now we talk about natural lifestyle, which is in fact a solution to all these issues. So natural lifestyle believes that there is a set of causes for every disease. So that's why we say the unity of cause. And obviously, if there is a unity of cause, there will be unity of treatment. It's a similar treatment for all the diseases. So we will learn about this in our future slides. So the nature care believes in a unity of cause of disease and unity of their treatment. And we have a holistic approach. We treat the body as a complete unit, rather than, let us say, if you are having problem with the eye, we don't treat the eye, but we treat somewhere else. I have experienced this. I have myself treated my own eye problem, which we have discussed in the first session, or I have addressed my obesity problem. It is not by working on the symptoms, but it is trying to find out what is the root cause and then working on that. So that's what we say, that all the diseases, they have common root cause, and all of them can be treated in a similar way through the changing in lifestyle and boosting the immunity. So of course there will be difference in the actual treatments, but we can be, all these are similar treatments. They will have a common thread. And but there is a common thread that we try to harness the unlimited self-healing potential of the body, and we use non-violent principles. That means we don't try to do any procedures which will give you a pain or which will give you side effects, and there are no medications in this. Most of the results can be obtained by a lifestyle change itself. So we discussed shortly about the Pran Shakti, which is a vital energy, and we utilize this energy for regenerating, repairing, and curing without any medications, which we have said already. It involves a good understanding of the principles and choosing the right roadmap for the treatment. It also involves, you need to have self-discipline. We need to have patience, because if you have taken so much of time for the disease to occur, it will take time to resolve this. And over the period of time, the patient becomes his or her own doctor. The results, whatever we get, it will be sustaining and permanent. So that's all for today. We have just talked about many of these initial concepts, and from now on we will go to the specifics of the diseases, and what are the root causes, and why diseases happen, and how we can actually address them. So now I throw up the forum for any question, answers, any doubts if you are having. Anybody has any questions or anything what you could not understand?
No questions.
No questions.
No questions? Okay, if there are no questions, then let's end today's call, and let's meet next time, next Sunday.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your participation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.